No, that's great. Because whenever we go to my in-laws and my mother-in-law, we eat like a big dinner or something, and my mother-in-law just says, like, I'll say to Eric, we have to do the dishes, you know, like that's just what we do. We're going to do the dishes. And we get up when we start, and my mother-in-law is like, no, don't do the dishes. That's fine. I always stop and I turn and I was like, we're doing the dishes. Like, because it's like, we're retraining. We're retraining, we're reframing, we're doing the dishes. Always. Awesome. Go ahead and start in a seat. And like always, you can sit up on a block, on a pillow, whatever feels nice and comfy, just to get your hips elevated just a little bit higher than your ankles. And in finding a comfy seat too, I know you hear me say this often, but it's helpful to take your one shin or one ankle in front of the other rather than stacking them, right? So then we can just create a little bit of space in the pelvis, and you can take your knees as wide as they need to be. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. So bring your hands to your thighs, to your knees, and think about the crown of your head reaching up just a little bit higher. You can close your eyes for these first few moments. Start to notice just the quality of your breath. So maybe it's the cadence, how fast, how slow. Is your breath like deep? Is it shallow? Can you just start to like slow it down? And let it be intentional. So maybe starting to breathe in for the count of 3. Breathing out for the count of 3, maybe even for the count of 4. When your mind starts to drift away from your breath, just bring it back to that counting, that breathing in for 3. Breathing out for 4. And then just notice how your body responds to your breath. So maybe you now just feel a little bit calmer than you did before, or maybe a little bit more grounded or centered, whatever that feels like for you. Just observe it, notice it. And then just start to think about your neck, right? So the front of your throat, bring your awareness there. The sides of your neck. And then think about the back of your neck here and how it naturally curves, right? And then the weight of your head just exists on top of that curve. Notice if you're holding your head further forward, which causes you to round through your upper back. And if you are, just see if you can bring the weight of your head, think about it being in the center, right on top of your spine. And that looks very different for everyone. So once you find that sort of like spot where your head is right on top of your spine, see if you can shrug your shoulders up towards your ears as you breathe in. Roll them back slightly. and then down towards the ground. So you can create maybe a little more space in the sides of your neck. The back of your neck. Now keep your shoulders where they are. Slowly drop your chin towards your chest. Roll your right ear over to your right shoulder and pause here. We're going to do this a few different ways. And then start to bring your chin nice and easy back through the center of your chest. Roll your left ear over to your left shoulder and pause. And then chin back to the center of your chest. Notice what sensations come up there, and then slowly start to find that weightlessness or the weight of your head right on top of your spine. Draw your shoulders up to your ears. Draw them back and down. Create a little more space across the collarbones if you can. Keep that space where it is. And then again, drop your chin to the center of your chest. Roll your right ear over to your right shoulder. Now keep your ear like drawing towards that shoulder, but don't lift your shoulder up to meet it, right? Just keep drawing that shoulder blade down your back. Now keep that and walk or reach your left hand away from that sensation. So notice how just doing that, wherever your hand wants to go, can create a deeper sensation here. Now I want you to keep that. Take your right hand to the top of your head. Now, rather than using your right hand to like draw your ear closer to your shoulder, we're going to do quite the opposite. So you're going to actually have your hand on your head, but then press your head, your skull, up into your hand. And then like, whoa, that is a deepening of a sensation. You can move your hand where it needs to be. You can move your chin where it wants to go. Just explore that sensation for about 3 rounds of breath, nice and slow for 3. Keep pressing your head up into your hand rather than that pull down. 2. 1. Gently release your hands, bring them back to your thighs, and slowly draw your chin to your chest first. Take any counter stretch that you need. And then slowly lift the top of your head up to the sky. Ha. Now take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. We've been in a seat for a while, so maybe roll the ankles, wiggle the toes. Take what you need to lessen the tension there. And then bring your opposite shin in front. Maybe the one that feels like it doesn't want to go there naturally. Just take that one in front. Switch things up. And then you get to take the other side. Chin to your chest. Broaden through the shoulders. Keep them broad. That's key. And then roll your left ear over to your left shoulder. Pause there, and then maybe even reach your right hand away from that sensation. Left hand to the top of your head. Slight pressure with the hand on your head. But then more pressure of your skull up into your hand. So we would call this like an isometric movement, right? Where you're creating this tension or experience in the side of your neck, where you're actually creating strength and a stretch at the same time, which is like a bonus. Breathe, just for 2. Move your neck around, or move your chin rather where it wants to be to deepen that sensation, or your hand can move as well. 2. 1. And then you'll slowly release. Once you feel complete or even, take any movement that you need, maybe rolling to one side, rolling to the other side. Chin back to the center of your chest. And then lift the crown of your head. Ha. Now, shrug your shoulders up to your ears again. Breathe in. Back and down as you exhale. Do that a few more times. So starting to move the shoulders around. If you need more movement in the head, in the neck, of course, take that. And then see if you can soften the jaw. Take a full inhale. Maybe even open up your mouth. Let out a nice long sigh. Do that one more time. Breathe all the way in. Expand. Don't lift the shoulders to breathe. Open your mouth. Now sweep the arms out and up. Take a big breath in to reach your hands high over your head. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms up to the sky. Take one breath in to press up high here, maybe even look up. And then slowly start to bring your gaze towards the front, but then lean over to the right. Back up through center, big breath in. Lean over to the left. And then it's back up through center, press the ceiling away. Slowly start to take your arms down along your sides. And then you'll start to just bring your forearms or grab opposite forearms behind you, right at your low back. Right, so you're just bending at the elbows. Now, if that feels like way too much in the chest, in the shoulders, just take palm over palm right behind you, right at your sacrum. Now, notice, are you rounding forward? See if you can send your shoulder blades together slightly, driving your shoulders back in space. Yeah, if that feels good, look to the right. Through center, and then look to the left. Nice. Now come back through center, look forward. Interlace your fingers behind you. So you're going to do this behind you. You're going to take that clasp, start to press your palms together, like so. You're going to bring that clasp over to your right hip. Yes. Now take a breath in to lift the crown of your head up. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Now I want you to imagine that you have a pencil attached to the tip of your nose. And you're going to draw a straight line down towards the ground with that pencil. Down towards the ground in front of you. Nothing else moves, just your head. Now think of that pencil on the tip of your nose. Draw a straight line from the ground up towards the ceiling. Ha. So you might continue to trace that up and down line or find any other movement that feels good here. So of course, you're creating more space in the neck, but also at the same time, space in that shoulder. And only do this if it feels good, of course. If you need to lessen it, take that elbow a little wider out to the left. Take a few more rounds of breath to explore. And you'll slowly bring yourself back through center. Release that clasp of your hands. Sweep the arms out and up. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. And then arms come down along your sides. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. We've been in a seat for a while, of course. So roll the ankles, wiggle the toes, explore all the sensations that are there. They're not bad. It's just feedback. And then come back to a seat, whatever feels comfortable for you, and then we'll take the other side. So sweep the arms out and up first. Take a big breath in. Do what you did before. Flip the palms up as you interlace the fingers, maybe even look up. And then slowly look forward, tip over to the left this time. If you want to drop that one hand down, you can, if that allows you to deepen. And then come back up through center. Tip over to the right and reach through your left fingertips. Come back up through center. Arms come behind you, interlace your fingers at your sacrum. And now it's both hands over to your left hip. And like creating that fist and just taking your right forearm behind you. Take a breath in, reach the crown of your head up high. And then it's your right ear over to your right shoulder. I lied. Left ear to your left shoulder. So you're leaning away from that arm that is behind you. Think of the pencil on the tip of your nose. Draw it straight up to the sky. Down towards the ground. Continue to trace that line straight up and down. Or find your own movement. You're just exposing that muscle, letting it be a little bit longer, and then opening through the chest with intention. Maybe you stay in one spot and you breathe. Take one more full breath in, wherever you are. Long breath out. And then release that. Sweep the arms out and up. Take a big breath in. This time, interlace the fingers, flip your palms up towards the sky first. And then send your palms forward and chin towards your chest, round through your spine, lean back. And then thinking about the heels of your hands, one reaching a little further forward, and then the other. Like you were really pressing into a wall here, and then getting all of that space between your shoulder blades. Giving a nice stretch here, and then you'll rise back up. Release the hands. Bring them together, but pull them into your heart center. Right here, close your eyes. Take a shrug of your shoulders as you breathe in. Allow them to fall down and back as you breathe out. Maybe do that one more time with breath. Inhale, lift them high as you breathe in. Roll them back and down, let them fall. Open your mouth, sigh it out. And then just start to take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Keep your eyes closed. Maybe even start to lift your chin a little bit higher up towards the sky. Feel your elbows rise, forearms rise. And then just remembering that this practice always looks different every time we step on our mat. And no effort is ever wasted. So use this time with yourself, with your breath, with your body to be kind. Of course, to yourself, and then in your own way, share it with others. Namaste. So with that space in your shoulders, you can roll the arms, wiggle it all out.